Okay, as you can see, we have a body contents called H1, and in order to do cascading style sheets, we can use inline, embedded, and external way to style our contents. Okay. Now always remember, regardless of what contents you have, we can use common stylings for them. Okay. So first, make sure your page is built correctly using correct semantic HTML tags. Because if you do mistakes in HTML, no matter how good you use CSS, it will not work. Okay, so concentrate on having HTML correctly first for accessibility reasons and having a good semantics for your web page. Styling is immaterial. Okay. So let's say I have this simple H1 tag in my body and I want to style it to different font color, font families, font size, font heights, and line heights, and so on. So all those things from the properties we can apply. I think earlier I have already handed over this style sheets chart for you. So you have most commonly used CSS within your charts. Now, the way we apply these style sheets or these styling rules, the most common rule we use for any CSS is we use a selector. This is the rule you can use always, no matter whether you're doing inline, whether you're doing embedded, or whether you're doing external. This is the most common rule we normally use. There's thing called selector. Okay. Not supporting me today. Let me just close my smartboard once. Let me start again. Okay, so the rule we have is there's a concept of selector in cascading style sheets. Now, what this selector means, your end target which you want to style, or your end target which you want to decorate with different fonts. In exam, they might say change the background of your web page. Okay, so if you get these verbal instructions even now, what do you think your target should be? Background, but what should be the target element? What you will change? Yeah, styles, but what should be your target element of HTML? Body, isn't it? You change the background color because that's what the question is. But then as a designer, you should know whose background color you should change. Okay? Because there will be something in HTML which you have to change in terms of changing its style. Now the style we are referring as background color. That's the instruction for you. Color can be anything, whatever they will say, or whatever in future clients will tell you. Change my website to yellow background or pink backgrounds, or whatever they want. Okay, so color values are immaterial, but this is the instructions for you, and they're instructing you to change the background color of the whole web page or the website's background color. So straight away it should strike to you that in a browser, when we see the website, which parent element gives you the body, which is the white canvas of your browser. Now that comes from the body tag. Okay, no one will tell you go and change the body tag's background color. Okay, the instructions will be just change the background color of the web page. Now you should know which tag you should go and select. Okay, now in cascading style sheets or in style sheets language, we call those target elements as the selector. Okay, now there are different ways of writing selectors as well, but I'm not going to go in that right now. We can change later on and discuss more on selectors. But let's just discuss a selector as a tag. Okay, so far how many HTML tags you have learned? Just generally comparing HTML's head, titles, body, and maybe 15 to 20 tags in body. So you are at this stage are familiar with 30 to 40 HTML tags. Okay, styling is only for the body tags. You don't apply styles for head, title, meta tags. We don't decorate them because they are hidden informations. Styling only starts from your body tag. So right from body, and then any tag we insert inside the body tag, those we can target and select them to style. Okay, is that clear? Don't go and try and change styling of head tags or titles. Nothing will work. Okay. Right now, the selector, as we have spotted that our selector is the body. In HTML, how do we write body tag? We write our brackets and we put the name of the tag in between. But this is the way of writing in HTML. In cascading style sheets or in CSS we target our elements by writing their name only. Okay, we don't write these brackets. So we write selector as body. This is what we want to change as an HTML element. The next rule, we write the properties of it by putting a curly bracket next to it. This is the common rule. You select the selector first, then you write the curly bracket. After the curly bracket, whatever instructions been given to you, that many properties you need to apply for that particular tag. Okay. For example, right now the instruction is only to change the background color. So the only property you need to change right now is the background color. Now you have a document which has a list of chart of commonly used CSS properties. Those who have missed your documents, I'll give you the sample copy again. Now in CSS, the property itself, background color, we write background Yep. No, you have to write backgrounds. You have to write a full word. Now, how to write the property names correctly? That's in the chart. When you follow the chart, you will see the correct way to write the property names. So we write selector, curly bracket, property name background, dash, color. Okay. Then we write the colon symbol, which is a rule, the way we write curly bracket as a rule. Okay. And after this colon symbol, we write value of that property. So background color, the property could be the actual color. Okay. First day, we have gone through the hashed codes and how to give those codes, right? I've given you that color picker tool as well. But if you don't know those codes and all, don't waste your time in understanding it. You can simply write its name as a word. Okay. I can just write yellow. To end your property, at the end of it, you write semicolon. All these keys are there on the keyboard, so easy to find the colon symbol, semicolon symbol, curly bracket. These are all keys on your keyboard, so you can easily find them. And to finish your selector styling, the last thing you do is, after the semicolon, you put the closing curly bracket. Okay, so this opening curly bracket is the start of your styles for the body tag, and the closing curly bracket is the end of the styling of your body tag. And this is the common rule we use. So tomorrow, if an instruction comes that change the main heading of your web page into Arial font, okay, the top heading. Now, if in a body, if you have used your top heading as H1, what should be your selector name? H1. So in technical, your rule will look like this. Instruction is verbally, I'm talking right now. Change your main heading into Arial font. Okay. So straight away it should strike to you that it's H1 selector. Common rules of brackets and colons. All you should know is how to write the property and how to write its value. Okay, so another example, H1 is my selector. Then I open the curly brackets. Property name to change the fonts is font dash family. This is not I'm telling you to write it. This is W3C's guideline. So we should write it exactly how W3C tells us to write. Okay. So H1 opening curly bracket, font family is the name of the property. Another rule, colon symbol, which is a rule. Next to colon, what do we write? The value of the property. Means in this case, we should write it Arial. Okay. Lowercase, capital, doesn't matter. Normally, you should just put Arial as a font's name. You end your property by semicolon, and then you finish your selection by closing your curly bracket. So the way I've explained it, the body in a web browser, your whole browser will look in a yellow background. And with the H1 font family Arial, your top heading, depending on if you have used H1 or not, first of all. So if you have used H1 somewhere in your body contents, those contents in a browser will appear in Arial color, Arial fonts. Okay. Now these rules, the way I have written, they are called embedded or external CSS rules. So whenever you're gonna style your pages using embedded style sheets or external style sheets, this is the way we should write them. There's another way of writing it inline, which I will explain you later on. But right now, this is the way to write your CSS when you're styling your page in embedded or external way. Okay? For time being, if it is through embedded way, your codes of whole selectors, H1 and body, should go between your head tag. I'll finish it off all of this jargon right now, what you will explain you. I'm going to quickly design this page for you, and I'll show you how it affects in a code. So I'm just going to quickly take the tags, HTML, learning, CSS. Don't start working on your screens. Wait for another 5 minutes. I'm writing head, up and close. Body, open, close. Close the HTML. And the only thing I'm going to add right now in the contents is, listen, can you please look at the demonstration first? H1 tag, style sheet H1. Now this is the body ready for our page. The embedded style sheets, normally we write within the head section. So in the head section, we write the style sheet by writing the style tag, for the opening pair of the style tag, we add another attribute called type equals text/CSS. Now this value indicates the style tag is used for CSS files, and we are adding it as a normal text, not any graphical rules. Okay. Now within this pair of a style tag, I'm going to add those two rules which I've just explained to you. One is to change the whole web page into yellow color, which will come from selector as a body, curly bracket. Property name is background dash color colon yellow semicolon to finish. Okay. To end the whole rule, you write closing curly bracket. Same story goes for your H1 tag. After the closing curly bracket of body, my second selector is h1, same rule, curly bracket opened. Then this time the property we are using is font family colon Arial semicolon close the curly brackets. It's exactly the same pattern and the same rules we are using here. Let me save this page quickly. Within the day 5, as learning css.html, and if I run this in IE, that's what we get. The H1 looks Arial and the body is in yellow backgrounds, and that is the code for it. Let me stop the recording so I can let you have a practice on it.